Hello, my name is Stephanie Yates, and I decided to share my book on Facebook and on YouTube. And it is intended for you to write down your spiritual journey and to share it with your family, your friends, or whoever you desire to share it with. The name of my book is My Spiritual Wishes, The Guide for My Spiritual Life. And it's also sold on the Amazon platform, or you can contact me, inbox me, or message me, and I can get it mailed to you. We've already covered the first 8 chapters. And so if you want to follow the videos, I guess it's easier if you go to YouTube and search for Stephanie Yates. And then that way you can find it and watch the first 8 videos. This is chapter 9, and there are 12 chapters. So I will continue until I get all 12 chapters recorded so that if you don't want to buy the book, you still can enjoy the journey spiritually and share it. And it also help you to get closer to your family, get closer to your co-workers, whatever small group you desire to get closer with. It will be an amazing journey to share together. So chapter 9, oh, you can't see that clearly. Chapter 9 is about it is about sharing your spiritual journey with. I will share my spiritual journey with, and you name the person and the date you will share. So this chapter calls for an action plan for you to actually share your spiritual journey with someone. And so you may not have a person in mind that you can share your journey with. So let me help you a little bit with that. So the people that I mentioned that you can share with your mother, your father. You can share with your stepmother, your stepfather. You can share it with your guardian, your mother-in-law, or your father-in-law. And imagine if you're sharing your journey with them, how close you guys would get with your in-laws for sure. You can share it with your spouse. That would be beautiful. With your siblings, your friends, your family, your co-worker. You can share with your uncles, your aunties. And you can share with any other people. Like, take for instance, I'm wearing my favorite team jersey. I love the Pittsburgh Steelers. And so, like, with women, sometimes it's easier for us to share in conversations with other women. So, like, we could be in the doctor's office. I know a lot of times when I'm out and I have on a Steelers jersey, some people say, oh, yeah, I love that team, and go Steelers, and stuff like that, other than those that don't understand. Taking my jersey, for instance, this is a conversation starter. It'll, especially during the actual football season, it'll really start a conversation about football. And generally, if you really understand football or you're into it, you can really have a deep conversation about somebody in reference to football. But take even, for example, women. Like if I'm at the doctor's office getting a mammogram done, and there's another woman there. We're both in the waiting room waiting. A lot of times we'll start a conversation. Of course, we know we're both in there for something pertaining to that aspect. But we can also start a conversation about, like I was here last year and everything was fine, and I'm trusting God that everything will be fine this time. And we'll even actually pray together. Or I can tell them about, like, the first Saturday every October, we have a breast cancer awareness fashion show. And I can invite them to that. And they may know somebody that they can invite. If I got tickets, I can give them a couple of tickets and say, I just want you to come to this so that you can be encouraged, so your spirit can be uplifted. And see, look right there. I've already started a conversation where I can share with somebody else. So I have a other to put in my book that I shared my spiritual journey with. Now I can invite them to my church. And a lot of times, too, it's not all about inviting anybody to a physical building, your church. A lot of times it's just about letting them see the church in you, letting them see the God in you, your love for God and your passion for, knowing God and getting to share the word of God with other people. So a lot of times, like I said, it's not about physically having them to come to your place of worship. A lot of times people will never come to where you worship at, but they will see the Christ that's in you, the church that you have shown them. So, like even just with that little scenario that I just gave, I could have a lifelong friend, somebody that I can talk to, that we can call each other. And then women will say, I love your purse, it's so pretty. Where'd you get it from? Well, I like those shoes you got on. Those are really nice. And, we can start a conversation like yesterday. I got out of my car and I walked around. I left my garage and I walked around to the mailbox. And so this lady pulled up at the stop sign in a black Mercedes. At first I thought it was my neighbor. So I just waved and I walked on around to the mailbox. And so she asked me, she said, "Are you finna do some exercise, go for a walk?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm walking to the mailbox." And she's just started laughing. And then she just drove on off. But that conversation could have went a little deeper. I could have, talked to her. So which house you live in? Of course, you know where I'm at. I'm right at the mailbox. So just, my house. I could find out, if she had a relationship with God. Did she know Christ? Share my spirit. Even if we don't even got that deep, I could at least learn her name. Who you are. And it's nice to see you. Blow next time you see me out here and we can, talk. But it's so important to share your spiritual journey so that people will know the God in you, know a little bit more about you, and they respect you on a different level when they know some of your story. A lot of times we want nobody to know our stories. Our stories, our testimonies, our journeys, they impact our lives, and it's what we went through. And there's no need to be ashamed of what you went through. You went through it. Even some of the times, if you're still in it, somebody else's journey or testimony to help you get through it. And like God have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So if we have to go through something, it's for His glory, for a testimony, for the victory that we can share with somebody else. So I do encourage you to share your journey. And thank you so much, and go Steelers. Bye.